Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be working in my Autumn Winter altered book. So the last time we decorated the first few pages, got going on it, and I really enjoyed doing that. It's such a beautiful kit. So we got these few pages done. Now I did get a couple of comments, questions about the stencil I used in the last video, this beautiful leaf stencil. That's this one here, so it's got the bigger leaves on this side and the small leaves on this side. It came in a kit of 4. It's actually a really good value kit. So if I show you, so this is the one I used, and then we have this one. You can see that. So it's got lots of swirls. I think it's possibly meant to be that way. So you've got the corner flourishes here. And then we have this one, which is really pretty. It's all floral. It's a floral kind of corner, well, bordery thing, and a few other little flourishy bits which are floral. Really pretty, that one as well. These are really lovely stencils. Nice quality as well. They're quite thick. And there's another one. And this one's got a little bird here. I might even use... I may well use some of these in this journal as well, but I just have to make them look a bit more autumnal. They seem to be... They're from Amazon. I got them from Amazon as a pack, around £7, so really not expensive. And by a company called George Craft. I've never heard of them. And there was nothing on the packaging to have with this name. They just came in a clear plastic bag, each one bagged separately and then all put together in another bag. So I don't know why there is no packaging with the name of the company on, but that's how they came. But yeah, I'm really pleased with them actually. I think they're nice quality stencils for a really good price. So that's those stencils that I'm using. But I don't think I'll be using them today. I don't know what I'll be doing today. I really have no idea. So then we also did decorate the first pocket. So that's there. Really, I love this paper. So I will continue working on the next bits. We'll just keep going. I may have to use my book weight just to hold that down. I need something to hold this side down, don't I? What can I use on this side? Put that there for now, because we want to decorate this page here. So I'm going to bring in my kit. Just move it over a little bit. So I've also added into the pages this one. This is one of Roxy Creations backing papers, I think. I just had it out and I thought, oh, that actually the colour goes really well, so I might use that. But I think because I've got this scrap piece here, I might put that on here. I should want to just roughen up the edge. And so I will, first of all, I think I'll do that. I'll rough up that edge because then I can measure it more accurately. I don't know if I want to use my this one. Maybe I do. I'll just try this. It's quite tricky just to do the edge with these. Well, I find it tricky. Tricky to tear straight. They always slip. That's it. Just take it slowly and it doesn't go too bad. Where's my little bin? There it is. Let's get this little piece off. Okay, now I can measure it. Got that edge. Oh, keep picking up this pencil that hasn't been sharpened. I need to put that out of sight. Put those pencils where I can see them. Right, so Just bring it in a little bit from the edge. I don't mind a bit, you know, I like a bit of the book page showing just around the edge. It doesn't need to completely cover it. Right. Some I might tear. Some of these I will probably do on the trimmer just because it's quicker and easier. Now, where did I do my mark? Can I see it? Yes, I can. Once I made the mark. Can't always see what I've done. Alright, now I've got to try and do this top edge, haven't I? Now I've started, I have to kind of carry on with it, so let's try and do that. Seems to work if I try to do it, if I hold it a bit closer to the top. Okay. There we are. Yay! Managed it. So let's do this little bit here at the bottom. That wasn't very straight, was it? So it's gone a bit wonky, so I might just have to tear just a tiny bit more off there. Okay, close enough. Right, so I just want to, so I'll just ink around it and glue it down, and then I'll be back. Right, so that's all stuck down. So I won't necessarily glue everything off camera and do that, but I think these big pages that have just got to be stuck down, you don't really need to watch me doing that, and it means we can do a little bit, fit a bit more into the video. So now I've got to decorate this pocket, and I've spotted this piece of paper here, which is like a collage paper, but I love this owl. Hoot for owl coffee, it says. So I think he'll fit on there quite nicely, and I just like that. So I'm just going to mark that one. So am I going to have to do the same type of, maybe I'll have to be consistent with doing the tearing on this page. Oops. So so I'll mark it, but I'll add a little bit extra to allow for tearing. So get the old tear ruler out again. Now this way, I think I need to do it closer. If I don't hold it really firmly, it just slips. Alright. And is that going to work? Yep. I think I just need to do it just there, because I want to miss. No, I've got to make sure I miss the pocket. So actually I've done it a bit too just inside the U, otherwise I'm going to hit the pocket. So I didn't allow for that when I measured it the first time. So and just tear this little piece at the top. Right, now let's get this. Make sure, do you see what I mean? I had to make sure I cleared this bit here. So that's good, that's worked just nicely. So some of the pages I think I'll try and do a bit of collaging on, but some of these papers are just so beautifully collaged already. I definitely couldn't improve on it, so not going to try. I might do on some pages I might feel a bit more adventurous. I think that's just where it started to make a funny tear anyway. I'll put that there. Right. So I really like that on there. Just quickly ink around. So if you were watching my video last week when I was doing Roxy's weekly challenge, I mentioned that my husband had to go for a PCR test because he got pinged by the NHS app to tell him that he'd been in contact or been close to somebody who'd tested positive. But all is well. He got his result really early this morning, which was brilliant because it was only yesterday, and he's negative. So we might go to the pub tonight just to celebrate. Any excuse. I've been using my tacky glue for gluing these in because I think it's just a little bit easier than using on the larger pieces. I find it a bit easier than the glue stick. You don't get through so many book pages either, because you can do it without a book page most of the time. Well, if it's a piece this size. I did use one for the larger piece. Okay. Let's pop you on here. Maybe move you up just a little bit. A little hard, make sure I get the glue right to the edges. It's always the corners that seem to need a bit of extra. I think we're okay. I think they're caught. That's good. So I'm going to just keep doing the decorating the pages and the pockets, and then I'll put things in the pockets and make journal cards and things afterwards. So I've got to do this side, and then I have to do this side and this bit and this pocket. So it's quite a lot of bits to cover. Let's see, what can we do on here? I could use a more generic piece of leafy paper because that'll pick up the leaves down here. So that might work all right on the back of here. And I think just for speed I'm going to use my trimmer on these. Much as I like the look of the jaggedy edge, it does take longer to do, so I will do sort of swap and change. I'll do some with the trimmer and some with the ruler. That way. No, what am I doing? That way. Right, there's my little mark. See, it speeds things right along when I do it this way. Still want to ink them because I think with the autumn theme, I think the brown edges really get rid of the white anyway, but also I think it just gives it that slightly warmer autumnal look to have the brown around the edge. Right. So that goes on like that. So I really need to start scouring my local charity shops for another book because I'm really enjoying this little project. I think I would like to do another one at some point. It's finding the right sort of book. And everybody who you watch who does these altered books has a different opinion as to the type of book you need to use. So I was following Natasha from Treasure Books to make this because these pockets were very much based on her video, and she talks about using books with sewn-in signature, which is what I've done, and was quite it was quite hard to find one, as I think I mentioned at the beginning of this. I have since been watching some more videos, a series by Barbara at 49 Dragonflies, because you all know how much I love Barbara's videos anyway, and I found that she'd made an altered book quite a while ago, and she says the exact opposite, which is quite confusing. She said you do not want one with sewn-in signatures because if you tear one side out, the other one will fall out. Well, that is true, but if you plan for that, it works fine because it means you just count those in. And I think with a very small book like this, it's quite easy to do that. You can work out, take one out, take the other one out to match, and that works okay. I think it's harder to do when you've got more pages because you've got to really be on top of taking out the book on the pages on each side. What about this one? So I'm going to have to just tuck it behind there, I think. But I quite like that whether I do it that way because it's a little bit plainer, so a little bit not quite such a loud piece, if you see what I mean. But it looks like it goes quite well, so I might use that. Using up the pieces I've already started, I think that makes sense. And I don't know if this will show very well, but I'm going to try and mark it. Mark it so it goes in just inside the pocket, so I can just tuck it in hopefully. Yeah, so Barbara was using a glued in signatures that were glued in, so clearly there's reasons for using either. It's a case of what sort of book you find. If you find one that you like that has got the right sort of pages, and nice thick pages, it's not too thick and it's the right sort of size, you can make it work either way, I think, whether it's glued in or sewn in. Now I'm just going to just mark it about there so that just goes inside the pocket. Hopefully it'll slide in without giving me too many issues. I might just tear this because you're not going to see it even if it's not straight. That's a nice little piece to use on another one. Let's just see if it's going to fit. Oh, if I can get it. Slide that in. I think that looks quite nice. I'm hoping it'll go in without giving me too many issues when I glue it. Okay. I know the inking's not much fun to watch, but it needs to be done. Whether I'll do the same when I'm doing the winter part of the journal, that may not need ink, well, certainly not with, I don't think I'll be using Vintage Photo for that. Maybe I'll use a blue or something. I don't know. I haven't printed that kit off yet. It's a kit by Lorna from TaylorMade Journals. I got this. I had the kit in my basket from last year. I think I found it after I'd done my, I think it was in the early part of last year, after I'd done the Christmas journal last year, and I thought, oh, this is a pretty kit, I must keep that. So I put it in my basket, and it's been there ever since, waiting for this year. And I finally thought, oh, I've got the project for that, because it's winter rather than a Christmas kit, but it was just so pretty. I really wanted to use it at some point around the Christmas. So I thought I might make it part of a Christmas, Christmas journal or Christmas project. But then when I started doing this, and I thought, I didn't know if I'd get it done while it was still autumn, and I didn't really want to be doing autumn pages in January or something. So that's why I decided to make it an autumn-winter kit. And that book, is what I mean. And of course, I straight away thought, well, that winter kit that I put in my basket is going to be the perfect kit for this project. So I bought it, but I haven't yet printed it. So I'll show it to you when I get a bit closer to using it. Now this is proving a little bit tricky. Thought it might, just to slide it into that pocket. Ugh. Get down there. Other people do these things and make it look so easy. Maybe I've made it a little bit wide. So maybe if I just stick it down there and then just push it, push it in. There we are. I think we're in. May not be completely straight, but it's in. Alright. Now I just need something across the pocket. What can I use? I want more of an image than just a... I could put this piece on, I guess. It's not quite big enough. Although, can't really have it going up here. I do wonder... I do want to use some bits of lace and things in some of this. I might come back and add a little bit of more extra embellishment. I could just put that piece there. It would go quite nicely there, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll just put that there. Thing is with this, I think these papers, that everything coordinates so beautifully. You could use just anything from it and it all goes well with the other pieces. And as this was part of the same piece, it just having that little image of the apple there, and then I can come back and add little extra decorative elements afterwards. I think at the moment I think I just want to get the pages covered, and then come in with, I've got lots of fussy cuts and bits and pieces and stamps and bits like that I could just add. Maybe afterwards we can come back and do a little bit of embellishing. But I want to try and get as many of these pages and these pockets covered as I can. Right. Okay, so that's that one. Now that one is beginning to come up. To add a little bit extra glue on this edge, I think. Going to work. We'll see if that goes. Okay. Let's go to the back of this one. So this is another big page. So let's pop that there. See what we can find to go on here. do something like that. That's quite nice. A nice kind, you know, quieter page I think sometimes is nice on the back of these. So I am going to, I had a pencil, don't know what it's there, it's over there. Okay, let's just mark this here, and I think I'll go down to the bottom, and I might just trim it here. I don't lose any of the image at the bottom. And I'm going to use my ruler, but not my jagged one. Just use the plain one. And put over there. And then tear off a little bit off the top. That's it. Okay, are we on? Yes, we are. So I'm going to do the same as I did for the other big one. I'm going to ink around and glue it on, and then I'll come back. Right, so this page is all stuck down. I really like that. I'm not normally a big fan of mushrooms, but in this book, I think with the autumn colours and everything, I think they work really well. And the advantage of turning off the camera and coming back on again is that in between I was able to have a think about what I'm going to do next, and also go and have a forage for any more bits and pieces that I might be able to use. And I've had these mushroom stickers for absolutely ages, and as I say, I'm not a big fan normally, so I haven't used them, but I might use them in this book, who knows. And I also fished out, I've got this bag of leaves that I bought from, I think from the Works or somewhere, one of the shops here that does a lot of craft stuff. They are a bit large, but I did wonder about whether they might be able to be used in some form, because they're gorgeous colours and they go really well with everything else, so who knows. And I had a little look in all my Fussy Cut box, and so I think this was the corner I cut off when I was doing the other page, and I thought I might be able to pop that there. This is all from the kit, and a piece of ephemera there, and somehow work in this leaf, which I think brings in this colour beautifully. I'm not quite sure if that's quite where I want it yet, but maybe something. Not quite sure yet. I had it lying down, I liked where I had it, and now I can't remember where I put it before, so to figure it out. I don't think it's going to work there, but maybe it can work there. No, I don't like that. Yep. Okay, well I think this will need to go underneath, so I think I'll put that on anyway. So I love this piece of paper, I didn't want to waste it. And again, I think the colours work really well with the colours on the other side. So let's just, for this one I think I will use my glue stick because it's just a small piece. I just find it a little bit awkward using a glue stick with the really big piece of paper. Oh right, I've turned it around I think. Have I turned it around? But anyway, I like it there. I think I did have it, I don't know, I had it in another direction and I quite like it going up like that anyway. So then if I put that there, let's figure it out, where's my little leaf gone? So I tuck that behind, like that. Yeah, I quite like it like that. So if I put that on first, very gently, so I don't tear off its little stem. I don't want to block the entrance to the pocket, so I think that might go quite nicely there. And then I'll pop that, give it a little tiny ink, make sure there's no white bits showing where it's been cut round. Cover that bit of white as well. Right. And oh, no, upside down would not be good. Pop that there. Oops. Make sure I've got all the corners properly glued. Add that like that. Again, I might come in with a bit more extra embellishing later on, but I'm just getting down the basics. I think there will definitely be bits of lace. I haven't got many laces that are the right colour. What have I got? I've got this beautiful brown lace. It's very wide, but I could cut it down and just do little bits. I'll just do a little bit on here, just because you're getting the urge. A little pin in there. Just try a little bit on here, I think, just to see. A little piece of lace just there would be really pretty. Look at that, that's really pretty. Like that. Don't know if I've got it the right way around, don't know if it matters. I think that's the front. Yeah, I might just pop that there actually, because I like it. So I think I'll be using that a bit here and there. Give the fabric a good old squeeze. I wish there was one of these that fabric glues was a bit easier to use, but never mind. It works very well. Just gives me grief. Right. So that's that one done. And now we need to do the back of it. So I'm just gonna, oops, clunk. Sorry about that. Just gonna hold it there a moment while I have a look. Oh, then we've got this multi-pocket. 6 pockets here, so you have to think about that one, won't I? I'm wondering about him on here. Is he too much? I like that. So if I was to, where's my pencil? There it is. So I'll cut it from there down to about there. Hope I'm not going to mess it up, but I think he might just fit there nicely. Ruler, there you are. Now, where did I mark it from? I can never see my marks, especially when they're dark bits. Now, trying to see where the mark went. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get him on or not. I'm going to tear across that way, and then I may just have to do something a bit weird at the end. I want to make sure I don't lose my squirrel. So that's the angle. Probably got the angle completely wrong now. But what I might do, put him on like that. He's still going to come over the edge a little bit, isn't he? If I move him down a bit. I know the angle's all wrong, but if I go round him a bit, then it doesn't look like I'm trying to fit it onto the pocket. If it doesn't work out, I'll use something else. And he'll fit on somewhere. Maybe I'll just tear around him a bit more. Right, how does that fit? Right, I'm going to have to tear off a little bit off the bottom. He will go on. I'm just going to have to snip around his ear a little bit, I think. Otherwise the ear is... Actually, is that his ear? That may be his ear. I think I might just about get him on there. Right, let's have a look. How are you going to fit on here, Mr. Squirrel? Not terribly well. If I do it, goes over that way a little bit more. But he will just fit, but he doesn't line up, which I'm not keen on. It doesn't line up here, which means I might need to put something else down here just to cover that. Unless I just trim him off a little bit here. Maybe that's what I'll have to do. Doesn't lose too much of his tail, I don't think, doing that. A lot of effort to go to get my squirrel on here, but I like him. So he's going to go there. I want a little bit something behind him. What can I use? See what I've got in my little fussy cuts. There's a little label here. Oh, that's too big. That might work. That one. And I feel we need to have a word here then, won't we? Or something. Have we got any words? I might have to add a word at another time. Oh, there's a little label. I think it's the same as the one over here, isn't it? Just a smaller version. Don't really want the same thing on the other side. Right, we also have the months. Got September. What else have we got? Got a little... No, that's not going to fit. October. November. Right, so I think we might do... What have we got here? All sorts of interesting bits and pieces. We've got a number here. And... have a few tickety things. I quite like that. Or we could do September. That's the month they collect their nuts, is it? Maybe? It's a bit too big. Is that the smallest? Yeah, that's the smaller one. I've got autumn vibes. No. Pop that there. It's a little bit too big. Right, where was that label I had before? Why do these things always take so long? Okay, I'm going to put that on there. I may just have to snip off the corner. Put that there. And I can put him on here. Yep. Yeah, the one on there, and then put my little leafy ticket. I've got an even smaller one I have. Because now it's stuck down, it looks a little too big. So I want to see his little... Right, that one's going to go there. This one needs inking because it's got white surround. Alright, okay. That was harder than it should have been. Straighten that up. Okay. There's the back of that pocket. So we've got that side and that side. Right, so I just took a little pause just to have a think about these pockets, because I've got 6 pockets to cover here and I don't want to spend too much time just thinking about it on camera, especially as we're getting towards the end of our usual time. So what I think I'm going to do, I've got these 2 papers and they go quite well together, and I thought I might do on the top pockets, because the colours go really well, I'm going to do the top one and the bottom one with this one, and the middle one with this one, and then in the background I'm going to do something a little bit more neutral. I did think about doing like a checkerboard effect, so having this one here, here and here, and the alternate and the opposite with the other one, but I think it would be a bit too busy once I start putting in tags and things, so I think something a bit more neutral in the background would make more sense. So that's my thinking. So now I've just got to put it into practice. So I'm just going to go straight in and tear this down. And I think I'll just turn it over and mark it because it's easy to see as the paper's so dark. So mark that one there, and mark that one there. Let's just do the other one while I'm at it, then I can tear them at the same time. I think what I'll do is as this is a two piece, I might just tear that in half. And measure this one. Tear it across there. And down there. Okay. And turn that one across. And then this one as well. Let's hope that they fit. That one goes to go like that, to go like that. I think it goes like that. Yep. And then that one goes like that. And this one goes in the middle. Like that. Okay. Right, I think it makes sense for me to just glue these on off camera, and then we can do this bit, which is a bit more tricky because it's got to be tucked in. Right, so those are all glued on. I really like the way they look. I like the colours that go across really nicely with the other side. So the paper I think I'm going to use for the other side, the other pockets, the backing, is this one, because I've got this sort of fairly neutral background and I think that would look better here. So I think what I'm going to do is is just tear off this strip here, so I won't be going into the image of the children with the turkey. I'm not going to be using that image. It's not really one that works for me. So I may use a bit more of that, but at least I've got this piece to play with then. So I think if I just tear it off about there, and I could just do that bit there, I think, and tear it off about here. Let's see if that's going to work. No, it's too wide. That's better. It's going to be a bit of a pain to get in, I suspect. So maybe I won't make it quite as long, so it just tucks in. That'll give me fewer issues, shall we say, trying to get it tucked in. So it's just as long as it's just out of sight, I think that'll be okay. Quite like that little bit touch of colour there, so I'm just going to take off a little bit more on the other side. Oops. Right. If this is the right size, I'll do the same with the others. So it's going to be about the same size. Yep. And that one's going to need to be, that pocket's a little bit deeper, so I'll do 2 more this side. Oh no, 1 more, the same size, and then I'll have to do the other one a bit different. And that one can go. Maybe I'll make this one the longer one because it's starting to get into more colourful bits. So maybe this one will be good down here. Because the width will be the same, it's just the length that's a bit different. Right, so that can go in there. Now I'm going to have to go with just getting it so I haven't got too many colourful bits. I'm just going to take that off a little bit there. And then take it off about there. There. Close enough. And then let's get rid of that. That bit there. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, so that bit goes in here, doesn't it, like that. Yeah, so I'm just going to ink around the 3 sides of this one. bit of a tight pocket, so I think this one is going to be the hardest one to get the paper into. So wish me luck. I'm going in. I'm going to use my tacky glue, although actually the glue stick does give you a bit of sliding, a little bit of sliding time, not very much. So I'm going to try it. Spare glue pages that I've used. That's the bottom one, isn't it? Right. Lots of glue on. And hope it lets me slide it into the pocket. Get the right way round. Which way round was it? So that way? Which way did I have it? That way, wasn't it? Okay. Slide it just that little bit. Are we in? Almost. Just that little top bit. It's resisting. It's got a little bit scrunched under there. I may have to just live with that. Little tiny bit of scrunching. I don't think it shows too much. Just gives it a little bit of texture. Okay, that's perfectly okay. Then I believe this was the next one. Is that the right size? I think that should just about go in okay. That was the danger. What I didn't really think about is that sometimes these things are easier to decorate when before you glue the pockets together. I didn't really think about that. I'd know that for another time. I wouldn't put the pockets together. I'm gonna have to give this a, is that called rough edge? I think it has. Anyway, I wouldn't, I don't think glue the, oh, what am I doing? That's not the glue. Oh dear. Yeah, I was trying to say, I would put the papers on, I think, before gluing the pockets together another time. As this is the first time I've done this, it's a bit of a learning curve. But it all depends how you're going to decorate, doesn't it? As I wanted to decorate with papers covering up most of the book page, it would have made more sense to do the decorating first. But we're getting there. And once we've got the tags in here, that'll look fine. Now I should probably put some little images on here too. And this one goes, I believe, will go this way. Might be just a little bit too, just a touch too tall, so I might just tear off a tiny bit. And this will be the last bit I'm going to have time to do today. It's so nice working with this kit, I really like it. I've not done anything autumnal before, and I really wanted to. I've been watching other people and I just love these colours. Love them. So I'm enjoying it a lot, and I do love a squirrel. I may have mentioned that before. I like other animals too, but I think the squirrels are my favourite. We do see them occasionally when I go for my walks over the Lee Valley, which is near where we live. The other day I was just walking back, and I was just coming back through the coming up to the stile to get back into our estate, and there was a rustle above my head, and this squirrel suddenly was sort of bouncing around on a branch above my head, and he, you know, if he hadn't been held on tight, I might have ended up with him on my head. And he scurried away when he heard me coming up into the tree, and I just watched him disappear into the leaves at the top. But I'm always happy to see them. Even the grey ones. I mean, we don't have red ones right here, so we only ever see grey ones, but I know the red ones are even more pretty and even more cute. But I'm still quite a fan of the grey ones. Yeah, that's come a little bit unglued there. Just when I was getting the paper in, so I might just put a bit more glue. Hold that pocket in place. It's pretty good strong glue most of the time, but if you're trying to force things under the top pocket, well then it's likely to give away occasionally. I think the others are all okay. Yep. Alright, so that's in place. Right, so should we have a quick look at what we've done today? Right, so I just had to do a quick battery change because I'd killed my battery. Right, so here we are. This is where we started today. And I love Mr. Owl here. So I've got this pocket, and I just need to add some bits to it. And then the back of this. So I can certainly do some more embellishing. I think there's going to be, you know, we can put a label or some sort of decorative element here, and possibly here as well, and something in this pocket. And I'll, you know, there'll be little extra bits to add as we go along, but I just wanted to get these pages covered, so we're doing quite well. Love this page, and this pocket's gone quite nicely, and the back of the pocket with a gorgeous squirrel, and he just goes really well with that background as well. I like that very much. And then I have these pockets ready to be filled. I'm definitely going to put some sort of little images. I've got my little bits and pieces in my tray here that I might use to decorate those pockets with. So we've got a few more pockets to do. This has gone a bit stiff, so they need to dry. So I've got this one, a few more to do. Oh, there's a nice big blank page there. I think that's going to be ripe for for a bit more stenciling. And this is as far as we're going to go with the autumn part, right to the middle. So this is hopefully the next video we'll get this last few pages done, and then we can start adding extra embellishments. Right, so thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.